Guitar Heroes, Eric Andreas, YourGuitarSage here, and as promised, created this YourGuitarSage Reacts video. It's a reaction video which basically is going to, you're gonna see how I'm reacting to your comments. So we got 455 comments, that's a lot. I obviously won't be able to get to all of those, or this would be a very, very long video. But the question was, what drove you to want to learn to play guitar? And we got so many answers. I wanted to start off with my answer to this as I said I would, and at the end of the video I'm going to give you another question, because again, the more that I do this, the more that I get to find out about my students, and you guys are so interesting, and I find out more and more just about how much we're all alike and the things that you watch from these answers. It's pretty amazing. So at the end of it, we're going to have another question. But what drove me to want to learn to play guitar was specifically, I remember the day, I think it was, the year I think was 1983. It might have been 1982. But it was, the song was Foolin' by Def Leppard. It was off Pyromania, and there was a music video for it. And I was really into music videos at the time, and just as that was coming onto the scene. And that song and that video and everything by Def Leppard after that, and then Quiet Riot came out and all these other bands, man, I was hooked, and I had to get an electric guitar. I was already starting to noodle with an acoustic guitar, but that did it for me. And I was hooked like it was a drug after that. So that, my friends, was why I had to learn to play guitar. It was other artists. And as you're going to see from a lot of these comments, same thing. A lot of Kiss, folks, a lot of Kiss. Ivy Sar is saying here, Coheed and Cambria. Yeah, that's a band that if you haven't heard, very, very guitar heavy and very influential to a lot of guitar players. Again here, Bobby Coltrane, the most significant moment was hearing Under the Bridge. Many think it was Hendrix or Slash, but it was John Frusciante. The opening alone touched my soul. Better yet, it told me that I had a soul. There you go. I didn't know a thing about phrasing, harmonic, song structure, still don't, but what John did give birth to a guitarist. Nice, right? So, yeah, a lot of those licks in there sound very Hendrixy. Of course, it came way after Hendrix, but very, very Hendrixy type stuff, and John Frusciante is that kind of player, but nice. You'll find that so many folks are being influenced by other people in some way, or other beings in some way. Sometimes it can be, well, you watch, if one of my cats come in here, I'll probably pick up the guitar. Other beings, other people, all. For me, I wanted to be able to play my favorite songs. As I got better and better, I found myself writing my own songs. It became more of a form of expression of my feelings, William Farmer is saying. And man, I'd say that's so true. It's just being able to express yourself, right? Susul Sahu is saying, just curiosity and the inquisitiveness. I practiced at night without lights to remember chord positions and sound. I have a video on that, right? How cool is that? And so, you know, people find this stuff by themselves sometimes. They don't necessarily need a video. 1972, MYC was saying, I was never artistic, so this was a way to express myself, a challenge and a passion. I grew out of it. And, you know, and that's so true. We grow so much out of our music, out of being able to express ourselves in different ways, you know. Here, Pusheen the cat. Like most kids at my age at that time, Kiss, which was the perfect vehicle for the beginning guitar. Need more bands like that today, indeed. Sam Mitchell, my dad would play guitar in a band. So many folks inspired by their parents. Hopefully my son is going to get that from me. Dear God, I hope, because I got some guitars set aside for him. Otherwise, I got to give those away too, right? My dad would play guitar in a band with my granddad on bass. I would often listen to them play as a young child, and it would be mesmerizing. In the key, my dad, I'm sorry, in the car, my dad would play amazing songs to me from all the classics, from AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, Aerosmith, Eagles, Clapton, more, and so much more. I would love to play air guitar to it and sing to it. I had a 3/4 size guitar and not very good, and I would never play it, but when I was 12, my younger cousin said to me that my granddad said she could have that guitar. I won't go on, but nonetheless, again, Sam here is influenced by parents, influenced by other musicians. It's really quite amazing at how much we can inspire others. And my friends, you can do this. You can inspire others. And I encourage you to do that, because you can literally change the world. You can see this. Whether you're a band, whether you're a parent, it doesn't matter. You can influence others to play guitar, okay? Sam, what drove me to guitar is a shitty life, abusive father, and I wanted to be somebody. Man, pain. Guitar is an amazing meditation for pain, and I can feel your pain there, Sam. It's true, you know, and here's the deal. It's like we all have pain, some more than others. Dig into that guitar. Some of the best songs have been written because of pain, because one poured themselves out into chords and into melody and into lyrics. So by all means, dig in there, okay? Eddie Van Halen, it's all his fault. I was 14. And my gosh, how many folks have been influenced by Van Halen, right? When the first Van Halen album came out, we're probably the same age, James. Mom was okay with the guitar, but Dad was against it. Mom won. Thank you, Mom. So they got me a pawn shop electric, and I got to play with no amp. Almost discouraged me. I'm older now, and I get to buy whatever gear I want. Yeah, nice. Love that. Rock and roll. Rock and roll made me want to play. I tried for about 6 years as a kid in high school, and I sucked, of course, right? We all suck in the beginning. No one starts off being great. No discipline, no talent, just totally and completely sucked. I gave up on the guitar when I was around 22, and for 30 years told myself I already tried and I can't do this. After a 30-year hiatus, I changed my tune and told myself I'm ready to learn. I'm about 6 months in now. I'm playing better in 6 months than I ever did in 6 years as a kid. This is totally true, folks. I've seen folks pick up a guitar and after a year become better than folks who've been playing for 30, 40 years. Literally, it can happen if you have that passion and you pick that instrument up a lot. It definitely won't happen if you're watching TV and eating Twinkies, right? You gotta discipline yourself. Patrick Eastwick is saying, from age 7, always fascinated with it, always gave me goosebumps, and this year I was told that I am a psalmist, one who sings and plays a stringed instrument. To my pleasant surprise, I actually can sing and play, and then along came the YourGuitarSage. Nice. I hope I'm helping you, Patrick. I love reading stuff like this. It really jazzes me. It gives me it's rocket fuel for my day. Led Zeppelin 4. Yeah, I know. No Stairway. Jimmy Page is awesome. Zeppelin, I mean, so many folks, right? So many folks. All right. In order for me to get to a good breadth of this, I'm going to have to skip a few here, folks. So the ones that just jump out at me. Everyone I know plays guitar, so I'm joining in on the fun. Love it. Yeah, true. I started getting into Johnny Cash and Elvis, so after some time, I'm like, I'm going to get a guitar. By the way, this is Lightning Record, and the last one was Alan Mullen. Lightning Record, I started getting into Johnny Cash and Elvis. After some time, I'm going to get a guitar, so boom, chicka boom. A few months later, I got one. Nice. Love it. Here, another one. Steve Brower saying, Luther of Johnny Cash, Tennessee 3, first 8 notes of Folsom Prison Blues. That's all it takes is one little lick. And friends, I tell you this, if you're not inspired by the guitar, just open your ears. Listen to your favorite bands. Anything that you hear, you can do on the instrument. I've just seen it done so many times. Now, you may not be able to do it right now, just like my 2-year-old can't do motocross, or he can't play guitar like I can, right? But he will, and in fact, he's going to be better than me. I guarantee you he is. Be looking out for this kid. He's going to be a beast. But again, it's all a series, and we need something to inspire us. So whether it's 8 notes from Folsom Prison Blues or Ace Frehley on stage, it doesn't matter. What drove me to start? Well, everyone around me was playing. I eventually joined that crowd playing in Detroit area Coffee House Plus. I was a nut on Donovan and determined to learn some of his material. Nice. That's Seth Tyerson. Nathan Guzman, I've always liked the Beach Boys. Me too. I'm a big fan of the Beach Boys. That's what got me interested in playing the guitar. Their songs are awesome, and they are, my friend. Douglas Hastings, the same reason as Jimmy Buffett, to meet girls. We hear that one all the time, right? To meet girls, to meet guys. 100%. Paul Cotton, when I heard Peter Green play Albatross when I was a child, I listened to him play whenever I could. I decided I wanted to be able to play just like him. Look, do you notice a trend here? It's other guitar players. It's always another guitar player. Why is that? Because when you speak on the guitar, it's coming from the soul. When you're just talking with your mouth, we're used to that. It doesn't do the same thing as music, right? Not always. Sometimes it does. Listen to Tony Robbins. His words are like magic, like a song. But in this case here, hearing another guitar player, it's just, it does it, right? Mike Ferreira saying, I love the beauty of guitar music and the beauty of acoustic guitars. Indeed, my friend. Indeed. Kenneth is saying, I like the song Morton Harkett, Do You Remember Me? Always a song, always a guitar player, just something, right? What else? What else? Who else do we have here? I'm going to jump around here. I can't pronounce this name very well, but Nemanja Stefanov. It was a dream of mine when I was a kid. I'm fulfilling it now. Friends, you dream about playing guitar. Make it not a dream. Pick it up. You're going to not be good at first. And not good turns into mediocre, turns into pretty good, turns into amazing. The more you put into it. But there's always that first day you got to pick it up where it doesn't become a dream anymore. Now you're actually playing. Listen, you can do it, okay? I'm telling you. There's nobody on this thread here who started off doing great, okay? Everybody started off not doing well at first. Charles Crank is saying, I wanted to learn to play guitar so I could play and sing Kingston Trio songs and then Peter, Paul, and Mary songs. I'm an old folk song singer. Indeed, I believe it was the Kingston Trio when I was a little kid. It may not be the original guys, all of them, but I had to have been some of the originals, singing in a mall someplace when I was a kid, and it was really, really cool stuff. The Kingston Trio. Mike Farr saying, music has always moved me. Songs that touch my heart and soul make me want to play them so that I can feel it at a deeper level. I want to be able to share them with my friends. Indeed, in sharing that music, man, oh my gosh, that's what it's all about, is expressing that and being able to give that to somebody else, right? We can do that through music. I wanted to play Johnny Cash and Hank Williams songs I listened to as a boy. Those guys weren't cool then. I've lived long enough where they are cool now. Indeed, right? So much. Those guys were doing it because their soul was crying out, and that's why they got on stage and they did that. And yeah, it's like these are legends now, but back in the day they were just dudes, right? The Musician's Edge saying, I was a trumpet player in Broadway show, and every night we would stretch, as it was a very physically demanding show. One day a friend of mine went up and provided music, playing and singing some Dave Matthews tunes, and I said to myself, I want to do that. The rest is history. I love it. My friends, there's so many comments here that I'm not going to be able to get to them all. I wish that I could. If you've noticed, I went all the way to the beginning of this thread where the folks really jumped on this. So next time, in fact, I'm going to give you the question here now, but the next time, if you are wanting your questions answered, try to get in the beginning there. I wish that I could get to them all. I'm going to read as many of these as possible. Your words are going to inspire other people, so even though I may not have read yours on the screen today, I may not have reacted to them today, please keep uploading them. You're inspiring others. I guarantee you there's folks that are going through these and reading these. It's very inspiring and it's helpful to others. So your words, our souls, the music that we create, it spreads like a great infection that's good for you, and it inspires others. So don't keep that in. Spread that, okay? Now, I've got another question for you, and that question is, what is your favorite era of music and why? What is your favorite era of music and why? Is it the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, today, the 2000s? Is it before then? Let me know. And why is it so? You know, I know a lot of folks will say, well, there was so much melody in the 50s. And I hear people say, well, yeah, but the 50s was schmaltzy, you know. We got into some moody stuff in the 60s. And then people say the 80s, right? So there's like, and I glean stuff from every generation, but I know I have some favorites, and I'll mention what they are in that next video. So in this video, at the bottom of this video, I want you to let me know what is your favorite era of music and why. And next week, I will answer those questions. All right, my friends, thank you so much for your comments. I love you guys. I love these videos. So much fun. Stay tuned for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one.